someone said gravity's not a force, and it absolutely is a force. I don't know where you got that from.
What is
General relativity.
it? A force of nature?
Gravity's not a
Well,
force,
it's not,
dude.
it's not a traditional force, no.
No, okay, what's a traditional force?
Jedi force?
Yeah, sure, but like with relativity, it's warping of space-time, whatever. I don't
How's that
understand
work?
how that's... Huh?
How does that work?
You have massive objects, like planets and stars.
No, no. How does space-time keep water in my cup?
It's pulling the water down to the center.
Space-time pulls water to the center of things?
Yeah.
Okay, I broke this one. You guys, I have something to do. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
I think you're confused, brother. Space-time doesn't pull anything.
Okay.
In case you didn't know, I'll update you. Massive bodies supposedly warp space-time, in which another mass traveling through is redirected along the warp. So it doesn't pull anything. The other object has to already be in motion. So there's no pulling at all.
Okay.
What the problem is that you're confusing Newtonian concepts of gravity, which, by the way, is only named after him because people named it after him. He didn't even want it named after him because he was intelligent enough to know it was nonsense. In fact, he wrote that in his own writings. He said, if anybody thinks that there's some kind of force pulling two things at a great distance, then they're crazy. He wrote that. So you're confused. You're confusing two different versions
I
of
understand
gravity
what you mean.
into one.
Yeah, I did confuse it there, but like nothing's. You are right. Nothing is pulling the water down, but space-time is curved, and water follows the curve towards Earth's center. That's how it works.
Well, listen, that's how it's claimed to work. Okay, yeah, we could agree that that's a claim.
That's how it works. I'd like you to show me how it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. How could you possibly know that that's how that works, friend?
Because the water isn't fucking.
Have you seen space-time? Have you seen curved space-time and water traveling down curved space-time tracks?
How does it
The
not
answer is
work?
no, you haven't.
You're just saying. Well, you haven't seen it.
No, watch, friend, watch. Listen, friend, I'll use your same logic, and then you can see how dumb it is. Okay, let me do it for you, and then you can see how bad it is. So, magic angels, directed by God to make sure the water doesn't leave, hold each molecule of water to the earth. I know this because the water isn't leaving the earth. Same logic, brother. So I guess we just proved magic angels in the trillions upon trillions of angels, each responsible for one molecule of water. They take care of it all. And if that was true, the water would be on the earth. The water is on the earth, therefore the magic angels are doing their work. This is the exact same logic you're using, friend. Now, and in fact, friend, let me double down. The magic angels are instructed by God to make sure that the water falls if you lift it at 9.8 meters per second squared down. Oh, I guess I just proved magic angels.
So you're saying
now go ahead and tell me how your claim is any different from my claim. It's literally the exact same logic.
I really don't know what you're talking about.
The exact same particulars. Go ahead.
We test space-time curvature. We've done it for years, man. We measure time running slower, closer to the Earth's mass, and that only happens if.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. The thing is, well, yeah, real quick. Yes, the magic angels bend the light around the objects, and the magic angels they are lazy. The further away from the Earth they are, the lazier they are, because they're not being watched as much, so they don't do things as fast, and that's why there's a time difference. Wow, see how easy that was? The magic angels, my bro.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're falling apart.
No, dude, I'm using your logic, bro.
No, stop talking about magic angels. We've
All
tested
right,
this.
all
And
right.
it works.
AI,
Oh,
check
that's
it
what.
out.
No, see,
AI.
friend. You're accusing, friend, real quick. You're accusing me of talking about magic angels, but the
I'm talking
actual
about space
person
time.
talking about magic angels is you, brother. I'm just illustrating how nonsensical your claims are.
Hey, I don't believe in God, so here we are.
Oh, I got you covered, dude. Check it out. AI is all wrong anyway. What you really have are invisible gnomes. They wear cowboy hats and they carry little lassos on their side. And then what they do is they grab onto everything and pull it down, including water molecules. What do you think of that one?
Here, that would be. I wish that was real. I wish that was very real, but I don't think you guys have a
Debunk
point
me.
to
Yeah,
this.
go ahead and debunk me.
Curved space times test it every day.
Nope. That's
Light
because
bend
of
times slope, and
invisible
GPS
gnomes.
only works
That's
because we correct for relativity. That's how
whoa, you don't
GPS
correct
works.
for relativity.
Yeah, it works. That's why GPS works on your little phone.
What are you talking about?
Because because space time didn't exist, it wouldn't work. As soon as if you take away
So,
space time, it would stop working.
space
We
time,
drift by
huh?
kilometers every single day. Planes would miss their targets, and
Yeah.
satellites
Let me,
they wouldn't win, or
cool story.
everything
Let's
works
qualify.
because the
Let's
math of
qualify.
space
Hey,
time
bro, let's
matches reality
quantify one of
exactly.
your
You guys
claims.
don't
Hey,
believe in it.
bro, let's quantify one claim that you said. So you said that GPS wouldn't work because time itself is changing and you have to account for. Okay, cool. What amount of time do they claim is changing, and what discrepancy would that result in your actually coordinates within a accuracy of plus or minus the amount of meters from your location? Go ahead and quantify that for us, please.
You want me to do some math right now?
Yeah, so for example, friend, I was in the military and we used a GPS system on the MGRS grid reference map system. We had a thing called a plugger and all these different things which gave us coordinate grid squares on the map. They were very accurate. Okay. So I want you to tell me how inaccurate they would be if we didn't bother taking into account for this magical time difference that you claim exists. I'd like you to tell me, would the coordinates be off by 10 meters, 100 meters, 1,000 meters, 1 meter, 1 inch, 2 millimeters? Like, how much would they be off? Go ahead. Can you quantify that for me? Is the difference in a clock at different altitudes. So to assume it's space-time causing that difference, because what they're doing is they're getting a cesium atom, and the amount of frequency vibrations that it has in a cycle is called a second. And so if that changes relative to other chronometers, they then say time has changed. What if it's not time itself that has changed, but actually the medium in which the cesium atom is in is either more restrictive or less restrictive, which allows it to vibrate more or less. So time hasn't changed. It's just the amount of times the cesium atom can vibrate has changed. And so you're just making logical conclusions that aren't necessarily the case if you're saying time itself has changed. But that
Uh,
aside, go ahead. I want to know what the
we run
discrepancy would be.
48 microseconds faster per day, and that would turn into around 10 kilometers of error per day. So within a week,
Per day?
your GPS would be off by like 70 kilometers. Within a month, it wouldn't even
Okay,
know where you are.
right. So basically what you have, so for example, I have in my van a clock and I have on my phone a clock. The clock on my phone updates from the internet and the cell towers constantly, whereas the clock in my van is just reliant on whatever system they have in the van. And it sometimes it's not giving me the accurate time. Now, I don't think because one clock is being updated accurately and the other clock is running slow, that time itself has changed. I just realized that one machine is not functioning correctly in the environment that it's in. Why would I jump to the conclusion that time itself is dilated? No, all as I do is I just correct the clock.
No, that's
Barometric pressure
not how it works
affects your
at all.
cesium, by the way. So if you're going to be moving up and
Oh,
down, you have to
wow.
account for that.
Oh, wait a minute. So what you're saying is the closer you are to the Earth, the more things there are that could affect the rate of the vibrations of the cesium atom. And when you're further away, other things wouldn't be there that would or would not impede the vibration rate. Just like I said, oh wow. But rather
That's
than
correct.
understand that, people are just going to jump to the conclusion that it must be happening because a time dimension itself is
You're
dilating.
talking
Good
about
grief.
you're talking about these slight corrections in your clock on your van, but these corrections, they aren't slight; they're massive. Um, Bring it back to GPS. The satellites would literally drift away by like
The
10
satellites would drift
like
away. The
every single
satellite
day. It
itself
would
would
even
drift
never
away
drift
if you
away.
didn't change the clock. Are you kidding, brother?
No, the
Hey,
clock.
hey, guys, listen, guys.
That's not what
My
I'm saying.
van. Listen, bros, check it out. I parked my van in the front of my house, my work van. But when I came back, it was down the street because I forgot to change the clock.
I'm saying your GPS wouldn't work. The fact that it works at all proves space-time curvature.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
You said
No,
that
it doesn't.
before, dude.
It proves that you need to synchronize clocks across the information system. So, for example, in the military, we have a coded system that requires a clock time for everyone to be on the same clock time in order for the code to work. And it
Yeah.
cycles. And you have to have this little box called an ANCD, which you have to plug into your radio. And everybody has to sync it at the exact same tempo beat on the duration of the second in order for all of our signals to be coordinated. Now, if one of us forgets to press it at the right time, time and space itself didn't change, for God's sakes. Holy crap.
I'm talking about GPS.
No, dude, what you're talking about is synchronizing a information system. This is the point you don't get.
Yeah, time's not changing now, but
So
like
that's
again,
called
if space-time didn't
in
exist.
the industrial world, that's called a time server.
Wait, did he
And
just say,
all
wait, did the man just say time isn't changing? Well, you just shot yourself in the foot with that statement.
I didn't say that. I'm saying if space-time didn't exist, that's what we're talking about here.
Hey, let me ask you this question. If the subatomic particles, right, like atoms and things within atoms and all of these types of things are affected by forces around them, right, which can or cannot restrict the amount of which they vibrate, which we all know is plausibly true, then if it's in one environment, it could vibrate faster, and when it's in a different environment, it could vibrate slower. So why would you assume that space time is altering rather than just the atom itself is just being restricted or freed?
Hold on.
gonna see what AI says.
I'm back.
You
What's that?
know, it's like your heartbeat. It's like a heartbeat, dude. Your heartbeat beats at a certain amount of beats per minute. But while you're being electrocuted, it's not going to beat at the appropriate rate. So if I set the benchmark of time as my heartbeat, 70 beats per minute, let's say, that means 1 minute per every 70 beats. And then I get electrocuted and my heart beats 175 times a second rather than a minute. Does that mean that time is accelerated? No, it doesn't.
Okay, man, I really don't know what you're talking about.
I know you don't. That's the problem. That's why you just accept the mainstream status quo, whatever they feed you, because you can't think for yourself.
And there's the
Bingo.
giggle. There's the classic giggle. That means you broke him. That was a good job.
No, I just think it's really funny, you guys.
That's what you guys always say. I just think it's really funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's an absolute joke.
Yeah, I know. So for example, see, since I'm intelligent enough to understand that if you set a benchmark for a second, for a cycle, and you let's say 1,000 vibrations equals one cycle, and therefore 1 second. If I can retard the vibrations by putting it in an energy dense area, which means it's not free to move, it will have less vibrations per second. That doesn't mean the second amount of durational time has literally changed. It just means the amount of cycles has changed. I don't know why this is so hard to comprehend, dude. For example, if you buy bigger tires than your car should have, right? Your speedometer will actually not read correctly. Did you know that?
You'll get lower miles.
Right. So does that mean that if I buy bigger tires on my car and I arrive at somewhere at the exact same time I should arrive, but my mileage says something different because my tires are bigger, does that mean that the distance between point A and B has gotten shorter? Holy crap, dude.
You probably lost them with that one. That's
I know.
you,
Too
you
much,
have
too
to actually
complicated.
you have to think in 3D and everything else and moving parts and shit like that.
You've lost me. I'm not a mathematician.
Told ya.
I know. Yep. So if you're not a mathematician, that means you're not capable of scrutinizing the higher math required to convince you into this warpily dorpily stuff. So you've just disqualified yourself from commenting. Good job.
So what? You just think all the millions of scientists are just wrong?
Oh, I
They're being
think
paid
I
to do
think
nothing.
I think that they are making metaphysical presuppositions, right? And biases, and then they're interpreting the data through that lens rather than just following the data where it leads. That's what I think.
Okay. So they're being paid to do nothing then.
No, nobody said they're being paid to do nothing. Listen, check this out, brother. If it really is the case that you have this clock synchronized system that doesn't function in a perfect sync at different altitudes, then you have to create a matrix of synergizing those clocks so they work together. Now, you could just make your mechanical matrix of offset and say every 3 seconds we need to cycle back 1,000 cycles so that the other object A and object B can be in sync. Or you could say, you know what? Maybe Zeus is fucking with our clocks, and we have to rearrange the clock because Zeus is pissed that we have things in high altitude. You see, you can just make up any story about what you're doing, bro. Any story at all.
And the space time's not very good. Zeus, at least you know that that's a dude. But the space time one, that's like magic, like magic making magic work.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there because all of you've done, my friend, is prove the Earth is flat. Because you're appealing to gravity to hold the water down to the surface of the Earth. And if that's the case, then that means the force or the magic or whatever you want to call it, the quantum energy or whatever defined and titled as gravity is quote unquote holding the water to the surface of the Earth. Well, ipso facto, you've proved the Earth is flat because the water that's on the Earth is flat, level, and horizontal, and therefore not curved. And therefore, by appealing to gravity, you've proven that whatever's happening in nature, the Earth is flat, therefore the Earth is flat. So good job, you proved the Earth is flat. I don't know what you're trying to do. Oh, B-Man, you're welcome to Flat Earth. Care package is in the mail. We're going to send you an extra 2 bottles of hemorrhoid cream because we know it's going to be tough for you to accept that you just proved the Earth is flat live.
Yeah, I will not be accepting that gift, bro.
Oh, a real man. Takes his butt chap like a man. Good job, bro.
You fucking know it.
I know, brother. Yeah, so any other Globers in here want to prove the Earth is flat?
It seems to be a trend lately. Glowers coming in, and then they prove the Earth is actually flat.
I'd like to give it a shot. I've been in the chat here. I just have a question for you. I just want to know if you guys can answer it. Why does billions of people around the world think the Earth is a globe? And
TV.
you guys,
Because of TV. Yep.
Okay, and why is the TV feeding them the fact? What is the purpose
You'll
of
have
them
to
feeding them?
You'll have to get a hold of the people that make all the shows,
Hold on.
dude.
So you
We've
don't know?
known that the Earth is a globe before TV.
I'm not a story writer, dude. I don't work for TV companies.
So
Okay.
you think these guys are
So
being paid to promote this?
So why
Why would you ask us to answer for people that we're not? Why would you want us to answer for billions of people and then want us to answer for what show producers choose to have as their form of entertainment? That's kind of a real head scratcher, my friend.
I don't think it's at all weird to try to explain why people think a way they do. And if you guys truly believe in the flat earth, why wouldn't you question why the entire world tries to push on us a globe agenda?
So I think I can speak for everyone in this room that none of us believe in the flat earth.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're doing a thing,
We're not
right?
here to,
Saying that like you're speaking for everyone in this room and you're just obviously lying. But that's just being completely disingenuous, because you can obviously try and make sense of why throughout the world everybody has tried to tell us that we live on a globe. You're just trying to be stupid. So
It's
why
a
don't you?
religion.
It's a religion.
Hey,
The globe is a religion.
It's a
tell me
cult.
why. Tell me why people are constantly telling you live on a globe. Then
Well, I know. I'd say because all of these billions of people don't look past, like, putting a triangular peg in one of those holes you have in kindergarten,
you don't know what a
like with
triangle
your
is. I wouldn't
perception.
bring that up. I wouldn't bring up triangles right now. That's not a good. It
Yeah,
won't be a
but
good look. It won't
he
be a good
basically
look for
just said,
you.
fair enough, but he basically just said that the majority of people don't look past simple things and they just accept what they're presented. Just like the guy in the Truman Show, right, who was in charge of Truman, and he was making Truman into an actor for people to watch. He created this little world for Truman, and he told Truman what was true and what wasn't. And Truman had basically accepted it almost his entire life. And it wasn't until a girl actually tried to save Truman from the Truman Show, and a little bit of circumstances happened where he finally woke up to the truth.
But you
That's
see,
interesting, buddy.
in the
That's a
world that
TV
we
show.
live in the
So
world that we regular people can go to university and learn things and test things themselves and
No,
get educated. So like
no.
it kind
Hang
of
on,
falls
mate.
apart whenever you think
you're
about it.
yeah,
Dude, you had your chance. You were flat smacked by AI. Go on mute.
yeah, buddy. Listen, I just don't think the Truman Show analogy here works. That's a singular guy. We have billions of people on Earth, and we have the greatest gathering of the minds right now of all flat earthers, and I'm not really
Hey, if
impressed.
the Earth is a globe, how come they have to tell you every day the Earth is a globe?
They tell me every day? How do they tell me every
Yes.
day?
Turn,
I
turn
see the
on any
Christian
social
cross every
media.
day.
Turn
I
on
see
it.
the
Oh,
Christian.
yeah, they also believe they live on a spinning ball in a vacuum of space.
Right? I see squares every day. Do you not think the Earth being a
So
globe,
now
the
you're a
place that we
square.
live on, is not a
Now you're a
great
square.
icon?
You
I'm
see
not
squares,
saying.
so now you live on a square. Is that what you're
Let me do
saying?
it. Let me do a test.
No.
Let me do a test, Justin. Justin, let me do a test
Yeah,
on
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
really quick.
Yeah.
Do you have any cash in your pocket?
Yeah. I can go get some
Okay,
from
so
my
let me
wallet.
ask you another question. Let me ask you another question. Do you have any money in your pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it look like?
Well, depends on what you mean. I got a card. A card can be money. I've got my
No,
cash.
can't be money. Nope.
Okay.
Card can't be money, and
Long
cash can't be
rectangular
money.
strips of green.
Right.
Yep.
That's not money, bro. It's not
That's not
money.
money. Really?
Nope. It's not.
What is it then?
It's called a exchange note. It's not money.
Interesting. I don't
Yeah, read it.
really.
Read it. Read it right on it. Read it right on it. Read the thing. Nowhere on it does it say money, dude. Not
Does it
one
have?
place.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
what is your point
money
here?
has a listen, money has a particular definition which makes it different than exchange notes. See, but the thing
It's
is,
interesting.
you think you said, but this is an example, dude. Most people think that Federal Reserve notes are money. But money has a different definition that Federal Reserve notes could never possibly meet. But most people have been conditioned that they're exchanging with money when they're not. Billions of people on the earth right now think that they have money and they don't.
Not billions, actually. I mean, money isn't. Well, maybe billions. It's an English language, but you're talking about a language which changes, evolves over time, and gets heavily colloquialized. That's completely
No,
different to saying the
not
literal
language,
place we
not
live in.
language, not language,
It is.
dude,
That is
not
what you're
language.
saying. You're
No,
saying the definition of money is different. But
no,
everybody
no, no.
uses the term money
It's
for the
not
piece of
about.
cash in their pocket, so it doesn't matter. You're just trying to get me off the point
No,
of you not
no,
being able to answer
wrong.
the
You're wrong,
question.
sir. You're wrong. No,
God,
actual money has a unique quality that pieces of paper don't, dude.
really? That's funny because I can ask anybody around me. I'll show them a dollar bill. They'll say, "What is that?"
Yep,
I'll
and
say
they'll say
money.
it's money.
Yeah,
Exactly. You're proving my
right,
point, dude. You're
right.
proving my point.
That's just we're just speaking language.
Millions of people are ignorant. You're correct. So why would I trust a bunch of millions of people upon billions of people that believe the earth is a globe when they believe the stupid pieces of paper in their pocket are money? Why would I believe them?
Um, it's simple, really, because you're kind of just focusing in on the most stupid little details that anybody who has a life would never care about. Anybody who doesn't sit in the flat Earth community Discord server for hours on
Whoa,
end
hey,
Correct.
dude,
You're
wouldn't care
proving
slow
about.
my
down.
point. You are proving my point over and over, dude. None
Okay,
of these people
I am.
actually have scrutinized their positions or their claims. They have no idea what they're talking about, and they certainly don't have any primary knowledge.
Really? Okay. So then again,
Yeah, yeah. Watch this,
so
brother. Watch this. Watch this, Justin. Watch this question. Okay. We know that you believe the Earth is a globe. Now, go ahead and give us a primary knowledge of the Earth being a globe that you possess. Go ahead.
okay, so this is a great way to reverse it onto me to try to explain you something that you're going to throw math at me that I couldn't care less about. I just want to know. I just want to know, and this is the only question I'm asking. Why? Okay, all these billions of people believe it, right? But
TV.
and you say
I
we see
told
it
you
on
what.
TV,
Yeah,
right? And we
social
see the
media
globe
is
on
TV.
TV,
Yep,
but
TV
yep.
is social media. Yeah, yeah.
So you're
Where
just
else?
saying TV.
Where
You're
else do you
saying
see it? You don't
TV.
see it when you walk down the street. Where else do
Really?
you see it?
You ever
Yeah,
had a scope? You ever been a kid? Your dad ever picked you up a
yeah.
scope? You ever looked at the
What's a
stars? You ever looked
scope?
at planets?
Yeah, I've got a telescope, dude.
Holy crap.
That's looking in the sky, you dummy. You know the
Hey,
difference
bro, let
between
me put
looking
that
at
in a
the sky
logic.
and looking at the earth?
Yeah, let me put that in a logic form, friend. Here's the logic you just presented to us. Have you ever looked at something that's not the Earth and then made a conclusion about the Earth? Wow, bro.
Okay.
Wow.
So do you believe that Saturn is a sphere but not the Earth?
Okay, check this out. Here's what I
Or do you believe
know.
Saturn
Here's
doesn't
what I
exist?
know. Hold on, brother. Bro, here's what I know. Okay, you ready? I know for a fact that Saturn is not the Earth. And therefore, what Saturn is doesn't make the Earth what it is.
Okay, so if I look at a dog, right? Living, breathing, conscious, I can say, "Wow, that has a heart in it." I look at another thing, living, breathing, conscious, a cat. Wow, that has a heart in it. You
Oh, how
know,
do we
if I'm
know? How do look?
then
Real
then
quick, friend. No, no. Stop right there. Let's establish your knowledge claims. So, how do we know that dogs have hearts in them? How do we know that?
butcher it.
Yes, we've
Wait a
dissected
second.
dogs before. We've seen the inside of dogs before. Correct. Now,
Okay, we
go ahead
sent
and show
solar
me.
probes to other
Okay.
planets.
Do you think you're
Sure,
a
you have.
dog, mate? You're a cat or a dog? Wait a sec.
Who's saying that? What? No.
Dogs have hearts in them. Therefore, humans have hearts in them. That's about your logic frame here, brother.
You see living things, you break it open, you see there's a heart in it, right? So why wouldn't you assume, therefore, right? You see every other planet around us is okay,
Oh,
a
hold on,
globe.
brother. Hold on. Why would you automatically presume that the Earth is in a set called planet, of which the others are other relative to the Earth? Why are you doing that? Have you ever seen the Earth floating in space?
Uh,
And lit up like a light bulb.
I just
Hey,
what are
bro,
you
bro,
guys
stop
doing
laughing.
here?
Hey, bro. What I'm doing is being serious. What you are doing is laughing. Do you see the difference?
you just throw out random red herrings. You're like, but why this? But why this? And I
Hey,
ask
no,
you,
no,
why
Justin,
this? You say
Justin,
TV.
you
You get a
included,
single word answer.
Justin, let me
TV.
help you. Let
That's
me
it.
help you.
I
No,
just
no,
don't think you
listen, it's
guys know.
obviously more
No,
complicated.
you've been talking a
It's
lot.
obviously more
You're done.
complicated than that, but what
Okay, then tell me.
his answer to your question was just what he thinks why most people believe is because they're just told or shown it. Now, I
Okay.
asked you a specific question which you still haven't answered. Why did you include the Earth in the set called planets, of which you assume is these different objects floating in space? Why did you include Earth in that set?
First of all, because planets is a word we made to describe not only the Earth but everything around it that we observe to be
No,
a
you're
light
wrong.
covering.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, sir. The word planet actually came from the term wandering star to describe the celestial objects which didn't follow the course of the rotation of the sky that we observe. So, in other words, there's a few things that
Okay,
don't
but what does
seem
it
to
mean
follow
now?
everything else,
What does it mean
and they
now?
were called
Can you look at the
wandering
definition for
stars.
me now?
No,
That was
I
the
don't
definition
care.
how many hundreds of years? But you okay, so you care about then.
It
You care
doesn't
about what?
matter at all.
It doesn't matter
Yeah,
at
what
all.
I'm telling you, what I'm asking
You're
you
right.
is
It
what is
doesn't
the
matter at all.
justification? Okay, correct. So then what matters is the justification to include the earth in that set according to the meaning that you think it means today. I asked you that, you still haven't told me.
Because the meaning today, if you look it up, and I can look it up right now and I can read it for us, I can look up planet definition. So let's do that. Planet definition.
Doesn't matter.
You're right. It doesn't matter because you guys
It's
are
non
just being
sequitur to the ground because the
a
horizon remains
celestial body
horizontal
moving in an
regardless of your
elliptical orbit
definition.
around a star.
All right, so you
The
lost me
planet,
at
the Earth.
celestial. You lost me at Earth being a celestial body.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you're not
you guys
looking.
just break down every single word, and then you
No,
just
no,
give
no.
me
Well, let's break
TV.
down. Let's
You
just take
break
it. Let's
down
just take
every
it. Hold
word.
on, friend. Hold
You
on, brother.
no,
Let's take it
brother.
as given.
Hold on. I want
Let's
you to
take your
consider one more
definition as
question for me.
given.
One more
No,
question for me.
no, no,
Why do the
no,
heads of
no, no,
opposing
no,
countries?
no,
We're
no,
talking
no,
JFK.
no,
We're
don't care.
talking, the
Because of
Soviet
social
Union.
media.
Justin,
Because of
calm
social
down,
Why do
brother.
media.
no,
Calm
no,
Because
no,
of
no.
down.
TV.
Why do they say we live on a globe during the space race?
Because of
No,
TV. Because of TV.
no, dude.
Because of
No, let's
TV.
stop. No,
You're
fuck.
so
Justin, I'm
dumb.
muting
You
your dumb
can't
ass.
answer the
Thanks,
question
bro. Getting
honestly. You
muted.
can't do it because you
Hey,
don't.
bro.
Farland.
Hey,
Farland.
Justin, everybody stop. Everybody stop. Justin, you're spazzing out because you still haven't answered my question. You claimed that planet means an object orbiting a star. Okay? I want you to justify why you included the Earth in that definition. Now, one thing you could show me is the direct observation of the Earth orbiting a star. And then that would justify your putting the word planet and Earth together. So go ahead and justify the observation of the Earth orbiting the star known as the Sun, which is the claim of what it's orbiting. Go ahead and justify that. Go for it.
So then you can promptly ask me how I know we're orbiting a sun. I don't know what to
Yeah,
tell you. I don't know what to tell you because
I know you don't.
everything I say, right? You guys have built a perfect way of distracting.
Hey, brother, I'm not distracting. You claimed the Earth was a planet. You told me a planet is an object orbiting a star. I then said, how do you know the Earth is orbiting a star? That is the direct Socratic question that comes next in that series. You need an answer for that question, Justin. Now go ahead and give me that answer. It could be because NASA said so. It could be because Homeboy Slice said so. It could be because I literally astral projected and saw it, while an angel had their hand on my shoulder. I don't care. Just give me any actual reason why you included it, for goodness sakes. Go ahead.
Okay, let's say I see it on TV. Then what?
Oh, thanks for proving the point,
Then
brother.
what? You're just saying I proved a point. I've proven nothing. There's nothing being
You've
proven.
proven the point that the reason why you think the Earth is a planet orbiting a sun is because you saw it on TV. Holy
Okay.
crap.
Okay.
I've
I
seen
want to ask
Bigfoot on
you now.
TV.
Really? I want you to tell me how you believe.
You laughed. No, bro, you laughed at Dr. Triangle for saying people believe this stuff because they saw it on TV. And the only answer you could give was you saw it on TV. So good grief, dude. You just pointed the finger and laughed at yourself.
Buddy, I'm just being funny because you guys say TV has changed everybody in the world. I'm just going along with your little, brainchild that
No, I don't
TV
want you
is
to
the
go
reason people
along with
believe
it. I don't
everything.
want you to go along with it. I want you to give me a legitimate answer.
It's because I want a legitimate answer to the question that I asked.
Nice
Right?
obfuscation.
Right.
I told you
Everything's
already.
obfuscation here.
I told you already.
TV.
Yeah.
You said TV.
Well, answer his
Right?
Yeah,
question.
we already went. We already
Can we
went
do?
past
Can
TV,
we do
dude.
down the line of
Look,
thought
that's
here?
Dr. Triangle's. Listen,
Okay,
Dr. Triangle's opinion.
who's
No,
writing the
Justin.
TV?
Justin,
AI.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Listen, pay
matter who's
attention.
writing the TV. It
Just
doesn't matter
listen.
who's writing
Just
the TV.
listen.
It
Hey,
doesn't
listen
matter
for
what
a
they want
second.
us to believe we are on a globe. Right.
Holy
That
fuck,
doesn't
dude.
matter.
Okay, dude, check it out. I'm going to help you out since you can't think straight. Okay, your question originally was why do you think that billions of people believe the Earth is a globe? Dr. Triangle said to you that he thinks they believe it because they saw it on TV. And that could apply to many, many people. Now, you may disagree, but that's his opinion of why most people believe it. It's simply because they're shown it and they accept it as truth. Now, that is a sufficient answer. If you don't agree with that answer, you could parse it out and be like, well, maybe there's people who believe it because they didn't watch it on TV, and then we could talk about that. But see, I asked you why you included the Earth in the set called planets that has a specific definition and what knowledge you have that it should be included in that set. And you still haven't answered. Okay? So we gave you an answer. Whether you like it or not, that's fine. But you haven't given us an answer. Okay? So why not? We answered your question. Now you answer ours. Why did you include the Earth in that set? Why? What reason? Go ahead.
All right. Okay. I included the Earth in that set because I've looked up to the sky. I've seen the other planets through a telescope, and I've looked at the Earth. We are similar. We all orbit a star. We know that we orbit a
Holy
star
crap.
because
How
we
do
have
we know
viewed it.
it?
Yeah,
No, we haven't.
I said you would ask
Okay,
that. I
okay.
said you would ask that.
Okay, bro.
And you're just
Okay, bro.
obfuscating more.
All right, bro, I'm going to have to mute you again so I can explain it. Okay, check it out, bro. All that you've done, whether you realize it or not, is just repeat your claim. And then you added an additional claim. We've observed planets orbiting stars. We have observed planets orbiting stars. So you've increased the amount of claims you have. You didn't justify your first claim, and you made a second claim. So now I'm going to ask you, if we've observed planets orbiting stars, go ahead and post or describe or tell us a single observation in the history of mankind of a quote unquote planet orbiting a star. Go ahead, please. I'm going to unmute you so you can tell us where this observation occurred. Go ahead.
This observation occurred yesterday when I looked down at the ground and I seen the planet which I was standing on, and I looked up and then I seen the sun. And then at night I was able to see other planets in the sky that all followed, the ellipsis patterns of
You do
circling
not
the
see
sun.
Earth as a planet.
Oh, whoa. You saw an ellipsis pattern in one night? Wow. So we all know that you're full
Easy.
of crap, dude. What happened was you saw the Earth and you saw the things in the sky move, and then you inferred they were orbiting around the sun. You never actually observed them orbiting the sun. So thanks for playing, but you lose,
Really?
sir. You failed to meet your burden.
Yeah, look at the definition of an orbit, Justin.
Okay,
And you don't even
triangle.
see the planets when the sun's out. So how can you even say that happens?
I
When-
said
when-
later at night. I said later at
Yeah,
night.
But it's an observation. It should be an observation when one thing goes around another,
Well, if
right?
it's at but if it's at night and there's no sun, you can't say, well, now it's going around the sun that's not there anymore. See how stupid that is?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know that there's cycles?
Yeah, but what observation have you made of the orbit? That's what was the question right now. What
I
AI is
just-
trying to get to you. You didn't
I
make an
just-
observation of an orbit.
You're trying to ask me if we go
Have
down
you
this
seen an
path.
orbit?
If we go down this path, I could literally describe to you everything I've seen on Earth and you could have a reason to tell me it's something
No.
completely
Have you?
different until I do one of your silly
Okay, you want to get
tests.
loud, but all
right?
you got to do is just prove that you've seen an orbit, dude. That's it. Prove that you've seen an orbit. That's
Yeah,
all that's
yeah.
being
Let me
asked
help
of
Okay,
him.
you.
Let me
prove
help
that
him
you've
out.
seen the flat Earth.
Hey, Justin, I'll help you out. I'll help you out,
I can
Justin.
ask
Let
you
me
the
give you an
same question.
example. No, just let me
I
give you an
don't need.
example. So maybe, just maybe, there exists. Let's just call it a space probe that has flown far enough away into the solar system to where it can see the sun and the planets in the same view, and it's at an oblique view, so that it's looking down and it sees the Earth going around the sun and making a complete move around the sun. So that would be a direct observation of an orbit. Now, what you described is an observation of things moving in the sky that you then created a mental model of and inferred its orbiting. You didn't actually observe an orbit. So those two things are different. So you just have to be honest with yourself that you didn't directly observe an orbit. You inferred it and put it into a model, either on paper or on your desk. And you only time you saw an orbit was in a piece of computer software or a model on your desk, but you never actually saw the Earth orbit the sun. You have to be honest with yourself about that.
All right. Inversely, when have you seen the flat
Just
Earth?
answer, dude. Just answer his
No.
question.
No, because
You can't say
we
no,
can do
dude.
this.
You have to
We
be
can do the
honest.
science here. Because
No,
he's
wait.
giving
Why
me
don't
a
you just be
point.
honest with
So
him? Just be honest with him. That's all you got to do, Justin. Just be
buddy,
honest with him. You've never seen an orbit. You've only inferred one because you've seen these models that show you like planets going
Okay.
around the sun. You've
Have you
never
seen the
actually
flat
seen
Earth?
that.
Have you seen the flat Earth?
You need to answer
Yes.
the question. You're diverting
You
away
have.
because you're scared, Justin. You don't want to answer the question. You
I'm
don't want to
scared.
answer
I'm
it.
not scared at all.
Yeah.
I'm
Answer
scared
it
because
honestly. Just answer it honestly, Justin. Have you ever witnessed an orbit? Yes or no? Or have you just inferred it?
yeah, I've inferred that I've witnessed it there. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Look,
That's
I've
honesty.
looked. But what is your flat Earth? Have you seen it fully? How have you
Fully.
observed it?
Yeah, we see the Earth as a horizontal plane. Isn't that what you see?
Okay, so you see the Earth as a horizontal plane.
Yes.
What makes you think it's circular? Do you think it's a circle? What
Oh
shape
no
do you
no
think it is?
no no no.
Circle.
Yeah, nobody in here says. You might have heard a lot of things on social media that flat earthers are saying that the Earth is like a giant circle, like a pizza disc. We don't say that in here.
Okay.
AV, be careful. Social media and TV is a trigger word for him.
Yeah. Go on.
No.
So then what is the shape of the Earth?
Yeah, we're not making a claim to that. That's not a part of like what we describe in here, the Earth being. So the
So you
shape
don't
of the Earth.
you're not making a claim, so you don't know?
No, yeah,
You're not.
whatever the shape is overall, it's unknown to anyone. So
Okay.
you may
So
never
you
know.
guys don't know the shape of the Earth, but
It's not that.
you see it as flat just because you see the horizon. So I
No,
can explain to you the shape of my Earth. I can explain to
Yeah.
you the solar system around it. I can explain anything if I really wanted to
Cool story,
in
bro.
the grittiest detail. But you guys
I know.
subscribe to
Go
an
ahead,
idea
give him
where you
give
know
him the air
less.
have
you know
him
less.
explain air pressure to you, AV. This should be interesting.
You want to do
Yeah, I
gravity
mean,
now?
no, I
No,
mean
I
he's
said air pressure. I didn't talk about gravity. What's wrong with you?
talking about air pressure. I think the most interesting thing, though, Justin. I mean, I don't know. Is this the first time you've ever heard of it? Sounds like you're really energized, dude. Like that's what I'm hearing.
I'm energized because you guys have such a weird way of communicating anything.
Well, it just feels like right now at this moment, there's a lot of emotion coming from you because you don't like what you're hearing. Are you invested? Do you have a lot of stock in like space and all that? Like, do you think that you really think that we're a planet, right? And at some point in the future, we're gonna explore space and such?
Yeah.
Right. Here's what I'm saying to you, right? Before we even continue any farther, there's a lot of people who are invested in that idea. And when we talk about this, they have an existential crisis. It's a breakdown in their mind. Like it's not possible that there's people like us talking about flat Earth and that space is not what you've been told. And so it like these ideas clash and you just like lash out and there's like all these emotions. But when it all dies down, when you like leave this Discord, you're gonna think about it. You're gonna be like, oh, how do I know what I know? That's the only thing we're asking for you to do. I mean, we're living on the same earth that you are. We witness the same thing that you do. It's not any different.
So what
But the
you've done
only
right there is you've
Go
just
ahead.
psychologically laid out. You're right. You've kind of put like a board under me, like a little piece of leverage. Like, oh, I could be getting worked up. I could be having an existential crisis. You've
Yeah, that's what it
assumed
is.
that I reject this information because I do not understand it, or it
We
goes
can
No.
against
hear
what
it.
I
We can hear it. We're
believe for the future.
professionals. We hear
Yeah.
you, dude.
Yeah. So
Kind of obvious, dude.
that's you just assume that. That's just
Everybody,
No.
Justin,
You have-
I'll put it to you
No.
this way. I'll put it to you this way, dude. Everybody at some point, like when we first heard it, we usually some more than others, right? But they go through this process that you're going through. It's not uncommon, dude.
yeah. I'm
It's
just not
it's
gonna go through the process, guys.
no.
I don't need to
You,
listen. I want to debate you about
Go
the stuff
ahead.
here. I don't need you to tell me I need to be open or tell me that I might have
No, you
my
can do whatever you
stuff
want,
challenged
man.
or I'll be emotional. It's possible.
Usually,
And then I need
usually
to
the
like,
NASA,
Debate-
usually the
debate's on,
NASA
dude.
usually the NASA fanboys have the hardest time in this room. Usually.
Yep. So you're about to debate him. Go ahead.
buddy, I'm not a NASA fanboy. In fact, I
Okay.
don't know the first thing about any of the math that you guys say.
So he's going to
But
come in here,
us-
doesn't know math, doesn't know the size of Earth, doesn't know
You're right.
anything about Earth,
You're right,
but he's going to
because-
come in here and defend it. There's something he doesn't know if he's right or wrong about. You're crazy.
Because we can use simple logic and we can deduce things,
Well,
right?
what
Because
logic-
I can't
what-
learn everything. So
Okay, so what
you know?
logic have you used about the Earth that you think you live on, being a globe? What logic have you used?
Well, first of all, I have a certain definition of trust here in people that they are not
Okay.
completely dumb. And the people who constructed our society, people who build architecture, people who, do all this, who all believe in a globe, I do not believe that they've just looked at a TV in any way and they found that we live on an Earth. And I do not believe in any capacity that the overarching governments of our world, different governments, mind you, would in any way band together some unholy union to try and convince us that we live on a globe when we've been to space. Because I've never heard a clear answer as to why they would do that. I've heard people say money, control power. What is the money they get? Like a
Doesn't matter
space
at all.
movie?
You're basically a product of the information, the narrative being told to you that the Earth is a globe. You're a byproduct of that. So your mind
Okay,
is
and you're a
focused.
byproduct of the misinformation of a
You
flat
should let
Earth
people
community.
finish, Justin. You have very bad manners, dude. You don't let people finish talking. I think that's
I'm
pretty
like
rude of
AI.
you.
I'm like AI. We're
You don't have to be like anybody. You can be yourself, dude. Just a better version. All
I
right,
know,
so
but you didn't butt in for
here's-
AI, so.
I wasn't even here, dude. I just jumped in.
Oh,
All
I
right.
didn't.
So what I'm saying is, I think we can do better, Justin, as people that are trying to reason with each other, don't you? All right. So if you want to debate, or if that's what your goal is, I'm gonna let you have it because I think you need that. You need to feel like you're coming at me with something that's logical. So I'm gonna let you, right? Go ahead and give me any logic you can for the Earth being a globe, like any. And we'll review it. We'll see if it holds any merit.
Well, yeah, I don't really need you guys to understand my position. I need to understand your position as to why you guys believe. Like, what makes you think all the, like, besides from TV, I want a detailed explanation here, AV, as to
Social media.
why
Social media.
you've said a single word, Mr. Triangle. You can't just do that. Do we have social media in the 60s? Was JFK saying the Earth is,
Yeah, what did you think
a
TV and
globe?
radio is?
Yeah. Did you finish your question?
Yeah,
Ask-
let me ask my
ask your
question.
question.
Let me ask my question. Can you tell me why, and this may be hard now, why we've
not.
had warring countries or opposing countries all tell us
Newspapers.
that we're from the
Newspapers.
globe? Newspapers. Yep, from the
Newspapers name the globe.
AV, I notice you haven't told him he's interrupting, which is interesting because you told me I was interrupting. I just want
I
that
said
to be known.
interrupting me. Interrupting me. He's not interrupting
They
me.
like to play favorites.
No, just relax, guys. All right. So
Yep.
essentially,
didn't
if you could just get to your question, that would be great.
Yeah, here it is. Why opposing countries, right, from different nations and all of the intelligent people around the world that we call architects, aviators, stuff like this, billions of them, all believe we live on a globe. And if the answer to that is that it is because they have been fed that information purposefully, right? Because there has to be, in a line of thinking the flat earth, somebody who's lied if they said we've went to space and seen a globe. Why would they lie about that to the broader public, and how could they conceal such a gigantic change in basically everything that we understand about the world from the broader public?
That's 3 questions. You know that, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a chain of questions.
Okay, so can we do one at a time? Because that way
Yeah, we
you
can
won't
go
lose
do
the
one at a
plot. Right? Ask your first one. Start with the first one, and you can start with the
Okay.
why would they lie question if you'd like, or just go from there.
Yeah. Why would they lie to us? Why is the do you think that they've lied to us? That's kind of the
Okay, so the conception of the story of the Earth being a globe was essentially an esoteric idea from a long time ago, from even Pythagoras, right? Thinking that the most perfect shape was a sphere, and thinking that everything in the world like that resembled that would be like God's perfect creation. So Pythagoras had you can look this stuff up too, by the way. Pythagoras had a cult, the Pythagorean cult. And so they all believe this. So this information about the Earth being a globe is steeped in esoteric teachings, like in the mystery schools. So a lot of it has to deal with where the origins of it came from. And most of it was propagated forward into the church. So a lot of the Jesuit teachings were about, globes and, so forth, and the universe being, ever expanding and so forth. So most of it was rooted in that. But then it was given like a name called science. So a lot of people formulated this, and this was barely in like recent history. This wasn't like Greeks knew this a long time ago, and so did all of the world's population. This information really just formed around, I want to say, late 1800s, I think early 1900s. Like in the past 500 years, essentially, was probably when it really blossomed, and didn't come into our schools until like, let's say the Industrial Revolution, somewhere around there. And that's where it infiltrated the educational system. But people were really actually teaching the Earth is flat. And there was people that were being, I guess, railed against for teaching the globe. But that had its origin, right? So after that, people, when they were being put in school, were being told that the Earth is a globe and taught about the planets and all this kind of stuff, as in that this is like a part of what science is, and teaching young people this. So the young minds were formed into thinking that the Earth is like in a cosmic paradigm with ball planets and all kinds of things, and that was considered higher learning. Whereas the old antiquated version of it was thinking that the Earth was just as we experience it, a horizontal plane. But in this time that we are now, it really advanced since the age of the rocket, right? That was back in the late 50s, early 60s. Rocket technology took off, and from there it actually embellished the understanding of the Earth being a globe into like now seeing is believing. So there was a lot of things that were put forward in people's minds, that things that they could do. And you might even know this conspiracy because it was, right, the Cold War. There was a rush to the space age, who's going to get to the moon first and such, and countries were at odds with each other about that. And there's been even people that think that the Earth is a globe, like a conspiracy about like who actually went first. So most of the stuff that comes, like where we're at in 2025, people fully believe because it's been embellished to the nth degree. So now you and everybody else who believe it don't. It's almost like if I could akin it to like a religious belief, it's probably similar to that. Without any question, people will defend this, and without any knowledge, like primary knowledge, they'll go to bat. They'll just come in here vehemently screeching at us and being upset. But really, what we want is to reason with people that live on the same earth that we do. So it started from nefarious beginnings, right? Like this people that wanted to control the masses with this idea, this cult idea, that the Pythagoras and all them, that their Earth is like one of those things that they think that that all of nature is made. out of perfect spheres. So it had these like esoteric teachings, move forward to like now, but as it progressed to where we're at today, it was actually taught as just a tradition. This is what people understand science and the scientific community are representing as what true science is the knowledge of our universe is known as the idea that there's ball planets and all kinds of stuff. Jupiter's made of gas and methane and stuff. So we have in our heads, or I didn't anyways when I was growing up, the idea that the earth is a globe based on a traditional thinking. It wasn't like my teacher was out to get me, nefarious and just like wants to lie to me. She believed it as well as everyone else did, and including me. So it was more akin to like a tradition. It's not like people out there to get you that are saying the earth is a globe. I think that's a bit silly to take it to that degree. So to answer the question, why would they lie? Well, the majority of people are not lying to you. They fully believe that this is the truth. So there's nothing, because they grew up with it just like you did, and it's just a generational thing. So now it's got a kind of a mind of its own now. So when you ask the question why they will lie, well, we'd have to go all the way back to the very beginning in history where it actually began. So in esoteric teachings, and then you'd have to look into the histories. Like there's a lot of research that you'd probably have to do. Whether you're going to do it or not, that's up to you. But when you find out where it began, then you start to see the layers of like traditional thinking all the way to where we're at today. And that's including not just the globe, but every type of teaching that you can't actually verify for yourself. That includes gravity, many ideas like Coriolis. There's a lot of stuff that's involved with that embellishes the idea. Like ball planets are made of certain elemental, structures. So if we, like we were doing earlier, it was a bit more hostile though. I'm trying for you to just kind of get this information from an aspect of like why they would lie. So it began, like I said, it began from where people were being taught this at a very small group, and then it blossomed into like the common folk actually believe it, and without any question even. So I think that now that you have a critical thinking mind, I don't know how old you are, but you sound a bit older, like maybe past 18, I don't know. But you could probably start looking into this for yourself. But the why they will lie question, it always goes back to they're not. It's a tradition. So they're just being told that the earth is a globe and they believe it just like you do. They're not going to question it. And they're like, dude, I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the earth is a globe. Like what? There's nothing wrong with that. So that answers that question. You could probably do your own research and find out more of like, when it actually got started and when it was being taught in schools and stuff. And then that will probably open up your eyes to like that much of it. But I'm not here to change your mind, Justin. I'm here to just kind of inform you our position. Whether you want to debate about it or not, I'll leave that up to you. You can still do that if you want.
Yeah.
But, so the why they would lie, like I answered to you, is it's not a lie if your third grade teacher is telling you that, and she's coming from a good heart. Like she's not out to get you, dude.
What
She's
about
just
the
telling
people
you
who
what she
claim they're
knows.
from space? They've been to
those,
space.
those guys are liars. There's only a few people I would consider in that category. Those guys are in that category. The astronauts have been.
Why would they lie about that?
Because space would be, as you're being told, a region that people can travel to. Now, this is the most important part of your understanding of all what we've been talking about. Everything that someone says, if it's not able to be verified, then you carry it as a belief. So let's say, I don't know, your friend said, dude, I went into a wardrobe and I went out the other side and there was a talking lion and I had a conversation with him. And he's like, I came back and I'm here to tell you, dude, I'm serious. I talked to this lion. You're going to look at that guy like he's crazy, right? Like he's got 3 heads on him. But the point I'm making right now is if you can't verify what he did, like, or go where he went to see what he's talking about, then to you it's just a belief. You can believe your friend. That's not a problem. It's not an issue. But if you can't verify it, then it just becomes unfalsifiable. So I don't know if you trust your friend or whatever, but if you do, then you just take it on as something you trust him because, he's a good friend of yours. So that's kind of the same thing with these guys. But on the reason, like, you have a reason to believe because you've been told since you were very young that the earth is a globe and such. So those guys, they might be incentivized to do it for whatever reason, maybe it's a government classified thing that they can't tell people, or whatever it is, a justified good lie or whatever, who knows. But you'll never know that. All you know is that what they said, and you either you have a conscious choice whether you accept or reject what they're saying. As in, I accept what they're saying, they went to where they say they went to, I believe it. Or I'm going to question it. I want to know exactly how they can do what they say they did. That's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But you can also take it on as belief and rail on us because we don't believe like you do. But
Right,
either
so-
way, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know then. So when they're very televised, when they get on the rocket and they launch off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we watch them launch into the sky, and then they come down. Where are they going?
Who knows, dude?
Who knows?
That's not
okay.
that's not a part of like what you and I can actually discover, is it?
Right.
You and
so,
me. We see one thing. Let's say both of us were watching a rocket launch, but you and me, we both see the same thing. The rocket go up and go away. As far as like the extent of where it actually travels to, you and I have a question mark over our heads.
Oh,
We
no,
wouldn't know.
you can watch TV and it'll give you the answer.
Yeah, you could do that. But I'm saying as far as like you and I looking at it, physically, with our eyes, we only could see it to a certain limit and then no more. Like you can't see it actually traveling into the vacuum of space. Even though that's what your mind desperately wants to think, you only see it traveling up and away until the point where you can't see it any longer, and then that's it.
Nope.
Because
you can watch it on scopes. You can watch it travel up
All right,
through space.
let me tell you something about something you don't know about this, and that's not your fault. You don't know. But the rocket has to go into a parabolic arc in order to reach maximum velocity around the Earth. So it needs to orbit around the Earth according to the mainstream narrative. It uses about 25,000 miles to reach escape velocity in order for it to escape the Earth's gravitational pull. You didn't probably know this, so I'm telling you right now. So you can't watch it as it travels throughout its path. It has to go, I think it's a matter of maybe 2 or 3 times orbit before it actually reaches its speed to leave the Earth's gravitational pull. So you at some point, like I said, the parabolic arc that it takes is so that it can go into that momentum so that it can leave the Earth's gravitational pull. That's why it does that. And so you can't see it all the way to where it leaves the Earth's gravitational pull, because even if you were standing and looking at it, it'll reach to the horizon, and that's as far as the limit is where you could see it. That's it.
Okay, but I got my buddy on the other side of the Earth, right? And we got a call up. He's got his thing up. He's across the Earth, so he could see it coming towards him. I can see it going away from me.
Sure.
And then that's 2 people linking that information back. Did I do that? No. Is it very possible? Yes. You have a rocket launch in China and a rocket launch in the US. And they both go up. 2 different guys, 2 different nations see the same thing. They see the Earth round as a globe.
Well, what do you mean? The guys on the rocket or the ones on the ground? The ones on the ground
rocket.
don't see that. Yeah, that's what they're telling you, and you believe that. That's a different thing. We're only talking about viewing the rocket as it moves away. So your perspective is only one that you can only see it go to a certain limit, then it disappears from your vision. But you can't see.
Everybody's lying, guys.
It's not about being listen, it's not about someone lying. It's about only being honest to yourself. Like if you're standing next to Justin and you both watched the rocket launch, you couldn't say more than you could see. The only thing you could say is that it moved to the horizon on the parabolic arc. That's the only thing you could. And of course, the story would be it has to do that because it's to reach maximum velocity.
Other people on the Earth could confirm that it's going the way it's said, and then it goes up in space. There's got to be a point.
That's a story that you want to make believe that is true.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
and you saying like you don't know why they lie, you don't know why the people go up to space to lie.
Money. They
Now, wait
lie
a
for
minute.
money.
Hold on a second. I gave you the answer. It's a tradition. They're not lying to you. So
It's not a tradition to say you've been to space if you haven't. That is a lie.
liar. That guy's a lie.
So why is
He's
there
a liar.
different people all over the Earth lying, and why is that lie being
It's only the
projected?
astronauts.
To get appearance money. Yeah, to get
It's only
paid for an appearance so they can survive.
Yeah. it's only the astronauts that are doing that. Only the astronauts. The rest of the
Okay.
people on the ground, they believe it, just like you do. That's
So
it.
you don't think it would be incentive more for one astronaut to go up and
Why would you ask me
he
a
doesn't
question?
see?
Yeah, why would you
Well,
ask me a question that what the mind of somebody who's working for an agency who could be under classified pretense? You're asking me to divulge some information that I wouldn't happen to know. I don't
well,
understand the mind behind why you
you
ask
just
these
gotta
questions.
wonder, right? Wouldn't you
You can
wonder?
wonder, but that wondering is not going to give us an answer whether or not we can understand if the Earth is a globe based on the information we're given. We
You're
have to
absolutely
go
right.
right. So we have
Wondering
to.
that if the Earth is flat, just because we see a horizon,
All right, but
doesn't mean anything.
you
That is
you
a
can
wonder.
you
You
can
say it's
you can
flat.
you can say things right now, but you're jumping to a few different topics when you haven't even left the one we were discussing. There needs
I
to
know. I'm
be I
giving
know
examples. I'm
you're
giving
you're
examples.
you're kind of getting ahead of yourself. Is what it sounds like. You're getting ahead of yourself. You shouldn't, because
Okay.
there's
Okay.
enough
Let's go back
time.
to the.
There's enough time to kind of go through everything. We can go through it. It doesn't. I'm not going anywhere, dude. Like, I mean,
We can go back to the rocket guys. Okay. They
Yeah.
say they're liars. You say they're liars. Okay.
yeah, they are.
And
People don't go in rockets, dude. You would die.
oh, so nobody's in the rockets in his perspective. Interesting.
Well, I mean, where do you want to get to, man? Because I just want you to get to the end of. Is this it? Like that? You're talking
Right?
about
No.
watching a rocket
I want
launch?
them to know why. Right? They report back to a president, and then what do they
So
tell
you
that
want me
president?
to tell you what's going on in their head, Justin?
No. I want them. I want you to make a. Is there
Well,
any logical conclusion that you can possibly make for them seeing
they're
what
in,
they see
yeah,
lying, telling
yeah, yes,
other people, right?
yes,
And
dude.
then
I'm
them
telling you,
projecting that
yes.
to the people.
I'm
Okay,
telling
then
you,
what is
yes.
it?
Yeah,
They're
why would they lie?
incentivized. They're incentivized. Whatever the reason that they're incentivized is unknown to us, but they're incentivized because otherwise, if a regular person like you, like I just think you have a conscience, who knows, dude? The incentivization of it could be money, it could be power, it could be fame, it could
Yeah,
be any
innocent
number
until
of
proven
things. It could
guilty.
be any number of things. But the problem that we're having here is that even if we answer that question, whatever it is, right? Could be that they're holding government secrets that if they said it, then the world will go crazy. Like, we don't know that. All we know is that they're incentivized because they're doing it. They are lying to the public.
Because they're doing it. Okay.
Yes.
So, see, you can understand how I would think that is a weak part of your argument, right?
You
'Cause
asked, dude.
right,
You
yeah. But
asked.
I just
So
want you to see. I just want you to see how that's because I've been trying to get to this point. So you're telling me they could be doing it for money, they could be doing it for power, but they
yeah, they're
are
incentivized.
lying,
Yes,
right?
100%.
Now, I would see that and I would say, well, why would they be incentivized to lie
But
about this?
you're making a judgment after this, and we haven't finished talking about the rest. There's more to the story.
Right. Really?
It's like reading
Well,
2 pages of a book and saying, "I know the conclusion." You haven't read the whole story. You need to read it all and then get the bigger picture and then make your determination of why I'm saying what I'm saying.
the
You
picture
have to.
always gets bigger. I could come back to you and I could say the same thing, and you'd say you need to read more. You need to read more. You just
No,
don't
dude.
understand it.
There's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Otherwise, I wouldn't be. So you can't just go on and start making a judgment based on what I just said. I gave you the answer you required for you move to the next point. That's all I'm doing. But there's a lot more to know. So you can't just make a determination right now. You have to wait. There's more.
Okay. Then you're going to tell me, right, why you believe what I'm going to think isn't a weak point. Okay? Because from my point of view, you say that these people are lying. They're keeping incentives for whatever reason, either control, money,
They're incentivized.
power.
They're not keeping.
Incentivized, right, to lie to the public. I look at that. I say, why would they ever be? How would they ever gain control, money, or power for lying about something so stupid? Also, I look
Yeah,
at
that's what. Yeah,
regular humans.
you're listen. This is what you're doing. You're staying on this point because you can't progress forward when you should
I'm
be
about to
progressing
progress
forward.
forward.
You're
I'm about
not.
to progress
You're
forward.
making this whole
You're not letting me
kerfuffle about this.
continue.
It doesn't matter about
What?
why they, dude.
I thought
The
you didn't like it when people
incentivization
didn't let it
that
continue
listen,
further.
the incentivization of whatever they were motivated to do, the
You're
thing
not
that they
letting me
did and
speak,
lie.
dude.
Yeah, lying about it is not the point, dude. It's whether or not we can understand if the nature of our Earth is
I
what they're
understand
telling
your
us it is.
emotions are getting high right now. But when you get to these questions and you feel like you don't have an answer, you can have an existential crisis that you've put all this time into believing something like the flat Earth, and you might not want to believe otherwise. This is the exact reverse of what you
meta,
did in the
dude.
beginning. Do
It's a
you
lot of meta.
understand?
It's a lot of meta, dude. You could just get to the next point, really. You just get to the next point.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
No, you're not. You're staying and waffling, dude. Honestly.
You're saying no, you're not. You're saying you're laughing. You're getting.
You're doing
angry.
it again. Meta.
Yep. Okay. Here's my point. Here's
Make
my
it.
point.
Yeah.
I see you say that these people are lying for control, money, power. You do not know. It is a point of area that you do not know.
That's why I said I didn't
see that,
know.
and I use logic to determine.
But how do you know? If you're claiming he does not know, you must have knowledge.
I love the
Please
peanut gallery. I do. Fix your mic, buddy.
Matrix, you're breaking up.
Please enlighten good people on
Matrix, you're lagging, bud.
Matrix, you're lagging, brother.
I can't hear you, Ben.
Ah, shit.
But
look, you don't have to know who killed somebody in order to know that somebody was killed. The fact of the matter is,
Yeah, I
the
can still
horizon
put you
remains
into
horizontal. It doesn't matter why somebody would lie about it. That's irrelevant.
No, dude. If
it's
you kill
accident.
somebody and if you kill somebody, I don't have to videotape it in order for me to put you in jail and prove that you did it.
There's evidence. There's something called evidence. All right, so let's see if you have.
And you don't have any evidence that those people are lying
Thank you,
or getting
Justin.
incentivized
Justin,
to be controlled. You've made a claim.
We do. You won't let him get to that far yet.
Yeah, exactly. You're stuck on this point, dude. You need to move forward. Move forward,
Tell
dude.
me. Okay, tell me. Do you have any proof that they have been incentivized?
You're still on this point.
To lie.
You're still on this point, dude.
Okay, but you won't answer the question. Do you have any proof?
I did. I told you the answer was, for whatever reason they were incentivized, they're lying. We do not know the reason they were incentivized
You made
to do the
claim
lie.
they've been incentivized, but you don't have any proof.
Listen, the proof would be if we move to the next subject, you'll find out. Otherwise, you won't. You're going to stay wondering.
Then you could just tell me the proof. Then you could just tell me the proof.
Forward to the next question.
Do you see what you're doing? Do you see what you're doing?
Wanting you to
Earlier, I
move
came
forward.
into this call. I was redirected at every point I made to a completely different point.
Whining.
Now I am trying to ask you that after you've made a claim, everything I said, I've made a claim, and they got off on these tangents.
Let's put it this way. The reason why they would lie like the way they're doing is because the Earth is not what you've been told. And it doesn't equal that the Earth is a globe based on any knowledge that you could provide of how you think it is a globe, either logically or empirically. There's nothing you can do to prove it to us because there is no evidence. The globe is an imagination of a cultish mindset, has no real implications in our physical world. You don't go outside and witness a globe. So whatever it is that they're incentivized with, the astronauts, we wouldn't know, but they're doing it. They're still lying. Okay, everybody else on the ground.
But you don't know they're incentivized.
They are, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
So you've made a logical leap there. You said they have to be incentivized.
Did you hear the other
or they
part?
wouldn't do it.
Did you hear the other part?
I did.
The other part was that the globe does not exist. It does not exist. Does not exist.
Those are words to me right now.
Yeah. You need to prove it to yourself and everybody here. Can you do that?
Okay.
And then if you can, you proved me wrong.
So
Do it. You'll prove
what
me
you're
wrong.
doing,
I'll put it right here like this on the line. If you prove it to me right now that the Earth is an actual globe, you'll prove me wrong. I'll have to eat my words. And I will.
how would I do that? Because everything you've told
I
me,
don't know. You tell me.
by the basis of yourself, you say you have to prove it yourself. So you've obviously gone out, done a little
No,
experiment.
dude.
Maybe
Why
with
does
a
this
paper
have to
plate.
come back to me? We're
No.
asking you.
I'm just getting a
You're
preface for what I'm
no,
saying.
dude. You're moving away from you being held accountable for providing evidence that the Earth is an actual globe. You're running away from that every time. You'll switch it back to me again. I don't need that. I need you to be honest with yourself. If you're able to provide evidence that the Earth is an actual globe, then you can do it, and all is well. That's all we're asking. So go ahead, lay it out for us, brother. Tell us how you know it's a globe.
Okay. That's just we're
What?
full circle. Actually, we've
Are you gonna do
come
it or
full
not?
circle. Av, do you not
Are you
see
gonna
what
do
you're
it or
doing?
not, Justin? Are you gonna do it or
The
not,
thing
sir?
you told me at the beginning of the thing.
Are you gonna do it or
you
not?
obviously you have to know what you're doing right now.
When you talk to me, I don't let go of the point until we reach the conclusion, which means I'm not going to leave this point. We're going to stay here until you are able to admit you can't prove it.
Wait,
That's what I want to
you
hear from
don't
you.
leave the point until you found the conclusion. So why did you want me to move on from the thing that I was asking you when
Because
you made the
it was
claim? It was
answered.
No, it wasn't.
It was already answered.
I made the claim. You said the claim was incentivized. You said
Yep.
you didn't know why it was incentivized. I asked you how you knew it was incentivized.
Because they're
You
lying.
simply. What if they're lying?
Because the
Not
Earth,
out of incentivization.
because the Earth is not a globe. That's why.
But you're just assuming they're
You know the
incentivized.
No, the Earth is not a globe. That's why.
That's why they're incentivized?
Yeah. The Earth isn't a globe. So whatever reason they're saying that the Earth is a globe, then it must be something that makes them say the Earth is a globe. Because otherwise they would tell people, hey, I went up there and it's not one. But they are saying it is one. So therefore, we can examine the Earth. Because that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the Earth. It's a globe, they say. Okay, how does anybody know? I don't know. Let me ask Justin. Justin, is the Earth a globe like the astronauts are saying? What say you?
I say it would be entirely stupid for any incentivization based on any
So you
human
just lost.
being on Earth.
You lost
That's
again.
not the answer.
Yeah,
That's not
the
the
answer.
answer.
That's not the answer.
That's the answer
That's not the
I'm
answer.
giving.
No.
You've given me so many frivolous, stupid answers, but the only reason that you don't take them in is because
You're
you have
just
a
putting
group
I
on
of
your
hope you
tab
go
down
back and
shoes.
listen
tell
to.
you
who tell you
that's
stop,
not the answer,
stop.
and you're
I hope
telling
you
me
go
stop.
stop, dude, for a second. I hope you go back and listen to this show tonight, and you're going to hear of what a fool you sound like.
I just don't think I sound like a fool, man, because I've heard every
You
word
do.
that came out of my mouth.
You do. Yep, you do. You're cornered right now. You don't know how to get out of it. You're gonna say something else that gets the accountability off of your shoulders.
Okay, what if I corner you?
Right now, you can't. Right now, what you need to do is provide evidence that the Earth is a globe, like the astronauts are telling you it is. All you have to do, the very small thing, is show us how the Earth is actually a globe. That's all you have to do. Should be easy. 2025, you got AI on your side, academia is on your side. Shoot, why are you stalling? You should have already given us the information already that the Earth is a globe. Why are you stalling?
That's not what
Why?
I've come here to understand.
Well,
I'm not come here to
what do you
understand
mean?
why the Earth is a globe. I've come to understand.
I'm not here to
how
understand.
You guys
Wait, so you don't know the Earth is a globe?
logically.
Is that what you're making us? Did you just say you didn't know the Earth was a globe, Justin?
No, I just told you.
So is it? Do you know it's a globe? Do you know it's one?
Do I know it's a globe?
Yeah.
Let me
You know
think.
it's a globe?
Yeah.
Okay, give us evidence right now.
Oh, good.
Evidence.
Now it's proof time. Proof season.
Right. We do the proof thing, right? Let's say everything I say, I don't have proof.
Why are you procrastinating?
Stop. Just the evidence. Go ahead. We'll see how long this takes. Evidence. Go ahead. You have the floor. I won't interrupt.
Okay.
Promise.
I have no evidence.
Boom. Good night. Thanks for playing. See how easy that was? And it only took us what? How long was he in there? See? Dude, you actually admitted it. That's all I wanted you to do. That was the end of the story. That's how we know the astronauts are lying, because you can't even prove it to yourself, to anyone here. Isn't that great? Flipcord, where you at, bro?
You never.
It was a painstaking process, but we did extract that from you.
Hey, we're gonna make you famous, dude. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
I also said for your point, because I just wanted to move the buck along. But
Well,
then
I know, but it's a good soundbite when you said I'm not here to prove it and I can't. So that's good.
Okay, man. I don't really care. But at the same
We
thing
do.
I said there, I'm going back to the point you never proved.
Dude, you're whistling past the graveyard. You're already dead in the ground, dude. We're just throwing dirt on your.
Why would they lie?
We're throwing dirt on your graveyard, Justin. You hear what just happened? You did not prove that the Earth was a globe, and that's all you had to do to make the whole story.
Proved the Earth was flat.
You need to just relax, dude. The whole story about the Earth being a globe, and astronauts are telling us that it's a globe. All you have to do was just easily present the evidence that it was a globe, and all would have been good. All would have been well. But you said I can't even prove it. Well, that's that, I suppose. That's it. That's it, Justin.
Funny.
That's it. Now go have some Kool-Aid and drink and eat a sandwich.
Oh, I thought you were gonna tell him. I thought you were gonna pull the Band-Aid off and just ruin his day. You got to do that for me. I don't want to do it. I want to hear somebody else. I want to hear somebody else do it. I want to hear somebody else do it. Yeah.
The space Band-Aid. Dude, this guy will. I don't know how he will take that.
He needs it though. He needs it though because he thinks he's going to be traveling everywhere in about 3 years.
Gosh, dude.
Pull the Band-Aid off. I want to know what this Band-Aid is.
Space mythos. The idea that astronauts are telling you they're traveling to a location that doesn't exist. Do you know how?
Because they're being incentivized, right?
No, dude. You know, the reason why they can't go to that location.
Why not?
The reason why we say, according to the Earth being a globe, there is gas pressure on the surface, as you well may know, right? You're breathing air, so it's like 14-something psi on the surface. And when you go up to the altitude that they are supposed to be roaming around in, the thermosphere, like where the space station is, it's said to be somewhere around 10 to the -7, something like that. And if that were true and space is an actual vacuum, then the gas pressure would expand to fill the available volume according to kinetic molecular theory. Now, that means that the molecules of gas have perfect elastic collisions, which means that the only thing that would impede their progress from moving forward would be a rigid container. Other than that, they would keep moving in a direction. Nothing will stop them. So gas molecules move in any and all directions randomly. So if that is true, that the Earth is a globe and there's an ever-expanding, vacuum, the gas pressure that we have on the surface would leave. There wouldn't be any air to breathe, and it would continue to move off into the available space, because that's the way gas pressure works. The only way that we have gas pressure is if there's a container to contain the gas. Now, in the paradigm that the Earth being a globe has a vacuum of space, we're going to ask the question, how is it possible to have gas pressure without a container? Now you're going to realize that space doesn't exist in this particular example.
Do you think force doesn't act on a gas?
No, I don't have to think anything. You're going to have to provide evidence that we have gas pressure on a globe that's an open system. So that's up to you. That's your baby to deal with. So you're going to have to tell me how it's
gravity,
possible.
right? Because the molecules aren't just sitting there. There is a force acting on them that is actively compressing them.
Gravity's not a force, dude.
All right, so you're saying gravity would be the answer for containing gas pressure, right?
Yeah.
Do you have an example of this?
I.e. Earth. Yes.
No, that's not how you do it.
I cite Earth, the place that we live on. It's the biggest example, actually.
The whole gas pressure being held down by gravity. How do you know that was even something proposed by science? How do you know? Why would science even say something like that? If you think science said something, because I don't think they said that, but if you think they said that, why would they say that?
Why would they say that? Well, because
gas pressure is a container.
We breathe air, right?
Yeah.
And there's a container. And there is a vacuum in space, right? Because we sent probes up right? And we know there's a vacuum. What makes everything go down? Right? I don't know
do you
what
mean
No,
it
makes?
is.
that's not true.
What do you
I
mean?
don't know.
It's not
I don't know
true
what it is in
saying
the
they
flat
sent.
Earth model.
It's not true
No.
saying they sent probes up and measured a vacuum. That you're wrong.
Yeah, that's also untrue. Yep. All right. So
Right.
what I'm asking, Justin, what I'm asking for though is very specific. I want the scientific validation that gas pressure is contained by gravity. I want the scientific validation. Can you give that to us, please?
Yeah, Justin, just quickly in text chat, look at 10 past the hour. This is what happens when you have a vacuum with a
Who's?
container.
Okay.
10 past the hour. This is
10 past
with
the hour.
a container. And the container could not hold the pressure pushing on the outside.
All right. I'm on a specific point, so I really want him to focus on what I'm saying. Sorry, Shaggy.
So,
All right. So
all
I
you're
need you.
saying is a container cannot there needs to be a container for there to be gas pressure.
Absolutely. Yes, that's what I am saying, for sure. Now, if you're saying that science has validated that gas pressure can be contained by gravity, I need that validation, please. In whatever form you want to present it for us.
Okay. I inhale with my lungs. I blow out. Okay. Air is moving. All right. The molecules are being acted on by force. So what happens if you think there's an equal force moving inwards
Don't
on
ask me a
all of this
question,
air?
Justin.
Do you think it
You don't have to.
compresses?
You don't have to ask me a question. I just need the scientific validation for gas pressure being contained by gravity. That's what I need. I don't need your little spiel. I need you to tell me the scientific validation for gas pressure being contained by gravity.
Okay,
That's
you
all I
don't need
need.
my little spiel. You don't need my explanations. You
No, I
you
need the
don't need
scientific
my
validation.
You need scientific validations, right?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately,
What?
I haven't been so
That's two.
wise
That's
as to
two. He
look in.
doesn't have anything for twice now. Now
No,
let's.
no, no, no,
let's
no, no, no.
yeah.
I don't
First
have
one
the
you admitted.
body
First
of.
one you admitted you don't have globe proof. Now you admit you can't prove air pressure without a container being caused by gravity.
Yep.
I hope you
didn't prove
guys
that.
understand that what I'm trying
What?
to argue on here is based on pure logic.
We're not
Because I'm
working.
not.
Listen, we're not working with that, Justin. We're working with scientific validation because obviously gas molecules, that the way we understand them is to deal with physics, right? You don't
Sure,
understand
yeah.
that. Okay, so we want validation of gravity enacting on gases. That's all we want. If that what you said is true, we'd have validation for it. That's all.
Okay. Yep.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let's see. Uh-huh.
Yeah, call the AI, call the whoever you want. Look it up right now.
I
Do
don't
what
need
you want,
AI.
man.
I don't.
Sorry,
Oh, we
bud.
got a
I
smart
just
one
don't
in
think
here.
I need.
I didn't want
We
to. I
got a
didn't want to take
smart one
space
in
away
here.
from you. I wanted to let you keep space at least for one more night. But Radwin said, "Go ahead." So
Yeah, no, you've got
I'll
to.
oblige.
It has
I
to be
actually
removed.
heard the same argument yesterday when there was one
No,
guy
you
in
didn't.
here.
No, you
I
didn't.
did actually. Yeah,
You haven't heard it. No.
I did. He was telling me all about vacuums, right? But
Okay.
What'd you learn?
what did I learn? I learned that he was very susceptible
So
to
you didn't learn anything then.
lying.
Okay.
No, I didn't learn
So
anything from him. If I had,
You're a
I'd
bigot.
be a little dumb.
all right,
All
that's
right,
okay.
so I'll
That's
help
all right.
you out then real quick for 1 minute. So I have a vacuum chamber and I can play around with it and do things with it. And guess what? I can recreate your ever expanding universe with it because it's supposed to be a low pressure, ever expanding, like 10 to the minus 17 torr or something like that, right?
Right? Yeah.
Okay. So now you say gravity pulls water to the ground, right?
I say gravity pulls everything to the ground. Yeah.
Beautiful. We'll just go with water. It's easier for me. So I'm going to take a little bit of water, put it in a cup, and then set it on my table, and you'll be able to put your finger in it and touch it. And as you'll see, the top is all flat and level, right?
Should be.
Okay, I'm going to put it in my vacuum chamber and close the lid, and then turn on the pump and close the valve so it's only sucking out the air, right? When I turn that, okay, beautiful. So now it gets down to near maybe, I don't know. I don't have the exact reading because I need a digital gauge. I'll get one this year. Anyway, I'll tell you guys that what happens is the pressure gets so low, the water turns into gas and leaves the vacuum chamber. So that debunks your outer space water ball flying in a vacuum. The end. Thank
That
you. Go ahead, AV.
sounds like there's a
Yep.
pump that's putting force, and since there's no air, which is matter, it's just separating the matter, which is what a gaseous state is. That's what that sounds like to me.
All right.
I didn't-
So I don't know how much more, because we're really at the end of
Right.
our discussion.
I heard the guy.
So,
I heard the guy yesterday. He said that gaseous matter will always go to areas of low pressure. Right?
well,
Is that
yeah. Listen, I don't know what you discussed with that person that you spoke to right now, or spoke of, but what I will say is that you didn't have anything to validate the
Yep.
idea that space is a.
All I've heard is, right, you think that all of the air would just leave, right? And you're
No,
asking
dude,
me,
no, that's incorrect. No, what I know is that gas pressure requires a container. And
Oh, I
in the
forgot
case,
something, AV. I forgot
go ahead.
something. So, dude, check it out. What I proved to you was gravity is not holding the water in the cup. That was the bonk on your head. See, what happened was the air pressure is pressing down on the water, causing it to turn into a liquid. And when I removed the air pressure, there was nothing holding the water together. So it turned into gas and leaves the vacuum chamber too. So in an hour, when I come back and turn it off and open the valve up, water's not gonna rush in. It's just gonna be empty and dry, just like Earth would in a vacuum.
do you know what condensation is, man? Do you know if it's already gaseous in the way that it's
Right.
gaseous, it's not going to just
All right.
magically rebind
You're
unless there's
laughing
pressure?
though. You know what's crazy though is that you continue to laugh and be in this discussion, yet you didn't validate the Earth being a globe or that space is what you've been told it is, and a vacuum using gravity as a container. You didn't prove that,
Right, and I've
Justin.
never had the
Why
I've
are you
never had the
laughing,
flat
dude?
Earth. Why am I laughing?
Yeah, I don't
Because
get it.
you guys draw such weird conclusions. You
It's not a
have something
conclusion.
there.
There's no evidence, sir. There's not a conclusion. We're drawing. It's just there's no evidence that you presented.
Okay,
So why
okay.
is that? I don't understand how you find that funny. You didn't present any evidence that the Earth is a
Here,
globe,
I will
nor
present an
did you
example
present
you can do.
a vacuum.
I will present an example you can do. So, with your vacuum chamber, when you suck
No.
all that air out, all
I'm
that
gonna have to
matter,
stop you.
and it gets to a vacuum, I just want to ask him something,
No,
right?
no, absolutely not. You're not going to tell him what to do if he's telling you what he did, and then explain to you what happened when he took the air out. He told you. He couldn't be more clear. He already told you. You don't need to tell. In other words, the guy who doesn't understand science is telling the guy who actually knows science what to do. No, that's not going to happen. So you need to stop. You need to recognize where you're at with your
You asked him
knowledge
for an
of things.
example and then you muted him, bro.
I'm going to start muting you. I'm not talking to you. So
Yeah,
if
you're monologuing, my bad.
If you're going to do something, then you need to recognize that you didn't provide any evidence of the globe or gas pressure without a container. That's it. You don't tell him what to do. He's telling you what to do.
Okay. So he doesn't have to do that. But I just wanted to ask a question as to why the gas rushes back in.
Because I opened the valve up.
Right? So you open the valve up.
There was low pressure in the vacuum chamber, so the gas came back in.
Well, that gas is just sitting there. For all I'm concerned, what
No,
force is
it rushed
acting on it
back
to
in.
push us in?
It rushes back in.
How is it rushing back in?
In fact, I'm afraid to just pop that valve open because I think I might break something. So I always just crack it and then let it in that way.
Where the force is coming from, making that
the air
rush
pressure
back in.
Yeah, the air pressure that we're breathing is 14.7 psi, and it's being pushed into the vacuum chamber. How do you like that?
Right from your container.
No, we live inside a container. That's how we're breathing gas. Remember, you're the one who brought it up.
Yep. You can't have gas pressure without a container. That's what we've been saying to you. Now you answered your own question. Sit. Game, set, match.
Because of the container.
Checkmate.
Yep.
Because of the container. This container that's built around Earth, or
well, yeah, you're adding
constructed.
extra layers. You're adding extra layers that we didn't say. Adding extra
Well,
layers. You're trying to
I
convince
I
yourself
wonder
that
if
we're
you have a
making an
consensus.
argument.
I wonder if you have a
No, we don't
consensus
need to
on
go
what the
there.
container
We don't
is.
need to go there. We don't need
You
to go
don't need
there.
to go there because you
Nope.
don't know what the container is?
We don't need to go there because it's non sequitur. Doesn't need to be spoken of. It's outside of the
Really? So you can't
yeah,
give a
it's outside of
sentence
the
as to
argument.
what the container is so I can
No,
better
we
understand
don't
it.
need to tell you the color of something we've never seen before because how would we know that information? So we don't need to
So
tell
it
you
sounds like you
information.
guys just don't know a lot.
No, dude.
I know
Here's your
more than
little
you do, dude.
here's your
I
little thing
listen.
where
I was
I mean,
able
you
to
guys
answer a bunch of shit
no,
tonight,
you're
and you
rage
couldn't
baiting,
tell
bro.
us. You couldn't prove
and
you live on a globe, and you couldn't prove how gravity pulls air around a ball because I
well,
debunked your gravity pulling water down.
you told me, right,
No, you
that
don't need to
gas only
recount.
exists in a
You know what happened. We were all here. Don't need to retell the story, dude. Come on. This is getting redundant. Just take your massive L, bro, and just have a seat. Maybe Bowie wants to talk to us. There's
No, I'm
enough's
good.
enough,
I
bro.
don't like talking to retards. My bad.
Yeah, I mean you're triggered, dude. Obviously, you're triggered and you're rage
You're the one who's
baiting.
been monologuing, muting people and yelling, bro.
Oh, really?
He's not yelling.
I'm just here to listen.
All right. Well, sounds good. Maybe somebody else can take a massive L while you listen. But anyways, Justin, just relax, dude. You don't need to be recounting what happened. We already know. All of us were here.
Right. Okay. I just because earlier when I said that I live on a planet,
Yeah, you were wrong because you didn't provide evidence. We know. We've been over this. There's just nowhere to go, Justin. We've explored every avenue of you trying to present your evidence, and it was just none given. So,
all
Are
right.
you the one who thinks you're going to be going to Mars in 10 years?
No, I have no interest of exploring space
Oh, okay.
whatsoever.
All
It
right,
means
never
nothing
mind.
to me.
Don't wig out. Calm down. Just asking a question.
Right. So I heard somebody say, and this is in the chat, they said that because gas pressure requires a container and we have gas pressure, there must be a container. Right?
That's the antecedent of air pressure is a container.
Mhm.
That's the antecedent. Like the antecedent of a baby is a mother.
Yep.
Exactly.
We know you're here because you had a mom. Even though we don't see your mom, we know you're here. Same. It's an antecedent relationship.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Right. So
there's nowhere to go, Justin. We reached the end, bro. There's no more gimmicks. There's no more sophistry. There's nothing left except for you admitting that you don't have evidence of the thing that you were coming in here so adamantly telling us that you did.
I know. Physiologically. Well.
There's nowhere to go, bro. You're trying so hard for your sophistry to work. It's not going to work.
Right, guys. I'm trying to figure out something that you guys.
I know you're trying to bullshit your way out of this, and it's not going to work this time. Maybe other times it worked, not this time, dude. There's nowhere to go. I'll make sure of that. Every avenue you come through, it can't be sophistry. It has to be honesty. It has to come from a place that you're admitting that you either know or you don't know. It can't be a gimmick that you're coming up or retelling of the whole thing that went down. All we care about is your honesty.
All you say there's a container, you don't know what the container is.
Yeah.
Right.
So what? All I said was a baby has a mother. I don't care if the mother is blue
what
or
are the
tall
stars in the container?
or has long hair.
Do we know? Has anybody
No,
thought?
dude.
Anybody asked that question?
You're fishing. Stop fishing, dude. At some point, you're gonna realize there's things that we know, and there's things that we don't know. There's no need to go and find out the things we don't know, and then say, well, that's another thing you don't know. That's another thing you don't know. You're just trying to get back on your feet from being knocked down.
Right. It's just a little weird because I have a whole basis of physics and stuff that explains these things.
Okay,
that's good.
Correct. You didn't know that air pressure presses down on water, so you have no knowledge of physics.
Otherwise, you would have told us.
All right. I just want to get a base before I say anything. Do you know how stuff falls to the ground, right? The act of it falling down. We all know it
You
goes
didn't know.
one direction. I know, but I want to know. Do you know what causes that on a flat Earth?
No.
Well, since you
no.
don't know, if
Nobody
we tell
knows.
you, you're not going to know if we're right or wrong, so we can't help you.
You don't.
That's
you don't
absolutely
know.
true. So the thing is, you don't have a method of evaluation for anything that we're going to give you. So if we tell you something, you're going to be like, well, that's not true, and we're going to ask you, how do you know that? Well, I know physics, and you're not going to give us an explanation of what you know.
This is a straw man. You're just you're debating.
No,
a
this is an
non-point.
assessment.
No, it's a straw man. He hasn't made a point.
I'm gonna.
You haven't.
Okay, so you and I debate. You and I. I'm gonna put this other dude on mute because he's gonna interrupt. Go ahead, Bowie. I told you, and I said this, dude. I said, go ahead and let's engage. And you're like, no, I want to sit there and listen. Okay, now engage, dude.
Yeah, because you keep engage
Let's
about
go.
what? Your debating tactics or what?
Is the Earth a globe? I'm gonna ask you straight up. Is the Earth a globe?
Dude, I don't care about that. I was talking about your fucking straw man
globe?
argument.
Really? No globe.
Oh, he came in here to talk about people. He came in
I'm
here
not
to talk
white-knighting
about
shit.
people.
It's just your
No,
bad faith arguments
that's
are
weird,
fucking
dude.
insufferable to
That's
listen
weird
to.
that you go into other channels.
Then why are you here?
People
Because there's
talking.
other people in.
Silence.
Then leave, dude. If it's insufferable, why are you suffering it? Insufferable means you
Yeah,
can't
he should have
suffer
been
it.
gone a long time ago.
All right, here's the thing, dude. I do want to challenge you. So either you're going to be challenged or you're going to sit there quietly, like on mute, while we talk to Justin. It's up to you, man. I want to engage with you. Okay.
I was just pointing out your straw man argument. You can mute me if you want, bro. You're annoying to talk to.
Well, honestly, if you don't shut your pie hole, I will. But I'm saying if
I was just pointing out your straw man, bro.
Yeah, really? How did I straw man him?
What do you mean? You just started describing how he was going to respond to a claim you never made. That's a straw man. That's like the epitome of a straw man.
What claim?
No claim, because you never made one. You just were arguing with yourself about some non-claim that you didn't assert, and then you started coming up with an argument about this non-claim that you never asserted.
Hey, dude, can you fix your mic? It's like blaring, dude. Whatever you got going on with your stuff.
You can turn them down, though.
That's intentional. It's not accidental.
Yeah, dude, he's got like his stuff like jacked up. All right. He doesn't know how to control it. You guys are all the same. Young guys, you don't know how to control yourself. You lose your composure when we speak to somebody. If you want to engage, I gave you the floor. You denied it. So it's up to you, bro. All you had to do was say, let's engage. Let's talk about it. I want to debate. Then I would have took you on. Would have been that easy. You want to do that? Bowie?
No, I was just pointing out.
Okay, then sit there in silence. So let's see what Justin. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah. I just I understand what your guys' view is now, because you all do the same thing, right? Everything.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Gimmicks? No. I told you about gimmicks, bro. Don't start pulling your little gimmicks about how the channel is and how we always are. All we care about is information that you can present that the Earth is what you think it is. That's it. That is it, dude. Rock bottom thing that we want. That's it. Everything else, you guys are so mean. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Don't care.
I never said anything like that.
Well, I don't care to hear it. So what else you got, man? Because only thing we want to know is if your knowledge of the Earth is a globe can be presented. We'll talk about that stuff.
Okay, I mean,
what?
How do I know China's real?
Oh.
Wow.
I never been there. How do I?
It has one time zone. Because it has one time zone, dude.
Oh my!
Because it has one time zone? Really? Because I feel like I've only seen that on TV.
It could be the Chinese people.
I've only seen China on TV.
No, I haven't traveled, but my the guy I work next to has been to our plant in China, so he's already been there. I was gonna go, but we got a huge job coming up. Maybe at the end of the next year.
Well, my buddy says that we live on a globe.
China. If
I ask Buzz Aldrin,
how does he know?
Say we live on a globe.
Okay, Justin.
Buzz
how does he know?
Aldrin did not say that you live on a globe. He's never said that in his life.
Neil Armstrong, then dog.
So
he never said you live on a globe either. I don't know where you're getting your information from.
You're making that up, Justin.
He said when he was in space and he looked at the stars, the sky was just deep black, that he couldn't see any stars.
Yeah. Are you making that up, Justin? Are you making that up?
I'm in an interview.
Huh?
I just don't believe China's real.
Are you making that up? What you just said? You're a hot mess, bro. You're all over the place. I just wanted to know if what you were saying about the astronaut, what he said was real. Did you just make that up? I just want to know. I'll let you continue. Just want to know if you made it up.
Hold on.
Did you make it up or not, Justin?
He has to Google it.
Let's see. Neil Armstrong has.
You made it up, didn't you? Look at you. Looking for.
Dog, I'm getting. You said I can use
You
the
made
internet,
it up,
right?
bro.
It's
You
so easy
said
to
I can
call
use the
them
internet,
out.
right?
So easy to call you guys out on exactly what
what
you're
am I
doing.
supposed to do? What am I supposed
You
to do?
guys
in this
are
situation?
you guys almost think that we have cameras watching you.
You said I need to prove to you, right? So I'm getting the source that I can cite.
That's because you didn't know when you said it, because you just pulled it out your rear end, bro, and you just fed it to us like it's true. Wow. And
Brother,
Bowie was white knighting for you, man.
Do you think I know the
Dude, I don't know what you know, but you made the statement, which sounds like you know, and you shouldn't have said it. Now you got Bowie all twisted up in the game, white knighting for you and whatnot. Now he's like got egg on his face because he did. Bro,
Justin, let me ask you a question. Would it be possible for Neil Armstrong to be on the moon and see the Earth?
Yeah.
So he'd have to lie down on his back to see the Earth. You know that, right?
That's correct.
The moon is a face always faces the Earth, right? So he would have to look straight up to see the moon.
Hey, you broke him. You broke him, Indio.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ, one question. Damn, I'm good. I'm getting better at
Oh
this.
my God, it's
buddy.
Somebody clip this shit.
That was great.
If you're on top of the moon, right?
What way does the moon face? Does the face of the moon always face Earth?
Did he land on the exact face of the moon? If it was a globe, he could have landed on the top.
Dude?
He could have landed.
Yeah, but we
right?
know where they landed.
But we know where they landed. But do you think the moon? In my model,
landed.
in my model, don't you think the moon spins? Do you think the moon spins?
Bro, well, the moon does spin.
Hell
It
no.
just spins in such a way as that the face of the moon always faces the Earth, right?
Right,
That's your
because
paradigm.
that's always the.
It's supposed to be tidally locked. Remember, this is your paradigm. The shit you believe in.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
If you have two
so
spheres.
Where's the moon? If I'm Neil Armstrong, right, and I'm in the Sea of Tranquility, right? Go look a map where Sea of Tranquility is. Where's the moon? Or where's the Earth from the moon? It's over my head. It's at like 70 degrees. It's freaking like 20 degrees from zenith. How would he see it? He'd have to lay on his back. Never thought about it, did you?
I don't know if you know how, if you have two spheres, right, and you say they both have gravity, right? Do you think if he's on the top of the sphere,
he's not on the top?
What if he was?
But he's not.
He'd have to look.
What if your granddad had a penis and he'd be grandma?
Wasn't he in the Sea of Tranquility?
Or grandma had a penis.
Guys, we've gone on a tangent again.
No.
I just want to know if China's real now.
Okay, so I'll
never been there.
right now. I'll address your China nonsense right now.
Yeah.
You think that's an equivalent claim claiming China exists, which is just a country somewhere, versus Earth is a ball in a vacuum? Do you think that somehow those are the equivalent types of claims?
I do, because the only thing that's stopping me from knowing
how they're the same.
Yeah, I can. The only thing that's stopping me knowing from China being real or not is me going there, getting on a plane and going there. Getting on a plane and going there is a lot more accessible to people on Earth than getting in a rocket ship and going to spaces.
Yeah,
so if I'm completely
how accessible is going to space? How hard? How rare is it on a scale of like? How rare is it?
I don't know, man. You can look up how many people have been to space.
600.
Well, you know.
So 600 out of 9. Hold on, 600 out of 9 billion. What's that ratio, bro?
That's a lot.
Yeah, what's that ratio? So they're not equivalent claims. China has 1.3 billion people in it. I can just call one of them and say, "Hey, where are you at? I'm in China." These aren't equivalent claims. This is like saying you've seen UFOs or unicorns or something.
The only difference separating that me from you is because it is a lot harder to go to space than it is to go to China.
Yeah, It's so
Like me
hard
saying
that you can
Antarctica
only
doesn't exist.
believe it.
Me
It's so
saying
hard.
Mount Everest exists, right?
Yeah, but we can go to Mount Everest. You can't go to space in any fucking imaginary scenario you can think of. You're never going.
You say we can go to Mount Everest. How do I know that?
Travel there.
Okay, because they go book tickets, go there. They probably wouldn't let you go.
And there's guys
You got
that
to be in
bring
a
you up
certain
to
level of
space.
physical health.
No.
And so they probably wouldn't let you go, but you can
And
see
there's
it.
guys who go up to space.
Yeah, that one we already told.
You just
Dude, we already.
believe that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can
We-
actually
we-
book.
these-
I can book
No,
a flight to
let
space.
Indio,
me
I
stop you.
posted a picture of
Hold on,
Mount Everest
Justin, stop
for you,
interrupting me.
Indio.
You're not tracking,
That's
Justin.
just a picture. I've
You're
seen
not tracking,
CGI better
Justin.
than that.
Okay, stop talking for a second. You're not tracking, okay? What you're not tracking is going to space is so rare that it's like saying you've seen a unicorn. That's not the same proposition as China. Millions of people, billions of people have seen China and been there.
I haven't seen China.
And the nature of the claim that there's a place somewhere called China is not ridiculous. There's places all over the place that are named things. It's not outside the realm of your own experience. You live in a place, it has a name.
Who are you
Right?
to say
I've
how
never been
ridiculous
there.
it is?
I've never been there, but it's not outlandish to believe that there's a place that exists with that name. So what? That's not what they're saying. They're saying, I go to a place that's an absolute fucking vacuum in a goddamn tin can. And when I let go of something, it don't fall to the fucking ground. Okay? That is a completely different fucking claim, dude, than saying there's a place somewhere with a name. They're
Yeah,
not appealing by any stretch of imagination.
I also don't believe any ocean is deeper than 100 feet.
I don't
Yeah, dude,
care.
here's-
Because think about it, the pressure under there, people couldn't survive that. That's
You're just going to another analogy here, but you didn't address the fact that what he was showing you was one is an extraordinary claim and one is just a normal claim. The normal claim is in the realm that you exist in, the air that you breathe. It's the same that people are breathing in China. It's the same air. But when you say you're talking about space, it lacks that. So there's a lot of things that are very, very different. Things are not the same up there with the environment where they're telling you they can go, and China. China is the same environment as here, so it's the same. That's all. It's different.
You can decide what's extraordinary by the word extraordinary. That means out of the ordinary. Place name something
I
is
think China's
ordinary.
out of the ordinary.
Okay, how extraordinary is I have a ball, I let it go, and it just stays there.
That'd be pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, I rest my case. Welcome,
Right,
Flattery.
and I think that
Thank you.
place called China that holds 1.3 billion people.
That's
is
not
extremely
extraordinary. It's very
No, it's not.
ordinary.
Really?
It's super
Because
ordinary.
in my life,
Yep.
I've never been to China.
Yeah, when you
Doesn't
drop
matter.
a ball,
That's
when you drop a
irrelevant.
ball over
The nature
when
of
you
the
drop a-
claim is ordinary, dude. That there's a land place named China. That's super ordinary.
Really, guys,
Yep.
Okay, I have a
Yeah,
feeling
it's not going to work for
guys
you,
have
dude,
been
because
told all your life.
No,
thing, dude.
your 3-year-old reasoning, okay? You failed, okay? And I showed you why you failed, laid it out in detail. Now, either refute it, come up with how China is somehow different than every other place, other than having a different name, or kick rocks, bro.